Buhari and Tinubu, they led a delegate to America to report insecurity of Nigeria to America during the Jonathan's regime. Can't you see Kama? And now they are screaming, opposition. Opposition what? Opposition power on there.
Hi, this is Nnamdi. Welcome back to African Viewpoints. So today I am back with another video concerning the insecurity in Nigeria and the role that the United States may have played in it. Now, back in 2014, the US president then was Obama, and many of us believe that the United States had a hand, one way or the other, directly or indirectly, kind of involved in this insecurity issue we are having in Nigeria. The reason being that in 2014, Obama administration pressured and kind of systematically interfered in the process of our election. Even the then president of Nigeria even made it clear that some people, there are outside forces that were trying to intervene in this country's election, and he made it clear nobody kind of was paying attention to him because of the pressure, because of the problem of insecurity we had, because it was at the peak of the kidnap of those Chibok girls, over 200 of them, and they are all Christians, So, and Jonathan was, his government and administration then was in shambles and was in confusion, because I believe there were a lot of forces that were playing against him, that were fighting against him, to make sure that he's ousted, especially from the north. Then Buhari and and Tinubu, this is our present president now, both of them went to the United States. In fact, they pressured the government. They even sponsored protests against his government. Then they sponsored protests. They went to the United States to meet the Obama's administration to complain about the state of insecurity in Nigeria and all that. And everything began to unfold until he was ousted. So, Obama administration also sent John Kerry, who was the Secretary of State then. He sent him to Nigeria, and when he visited Nigeria, he did not visit he did not meet with the whole of the governors of the country of Nigeria, but he chose now to meet with only the 19 governors of the northern states, sidelining the southern states. The reason being that the problem of insecurity is at the north. Therefore, the south does not have. He had no any reason to meet with the southern governors. Okay, but I think that was like trying to bring division and trying to give some kind of a positive nod to certain people, to because you will understand that then the party, Jonathan is from the south, and Buhari is from the north. All right. So meeting the northern governors does not indicate any unity. What it shows to me and to most of us is that the United States, they are putting their weight of support behind Buhari and the north, and they did just that to make sure that they frustrate Jonathan. But thankfully, Jonathan himself understood, and being a selfless man that he was and he is today, he decided to allow the election to run without tampering, without trying to rig it. And when the result came out that he lost, he graciously, kind of considered and even congratulated Buhari and handed over, because he said that he could have done anything in his power. This is Nigeria, a third world country, where an incumbent government does not lose. That is almost sure that an incumbent government will always stay in power if they choose to. So he said that his own personal gain and his own political aspiration does not worth the blood of innocent Nigerians. And this is the reason why he did, because if he had maybe holding on to power or tried to rig the election, probably things would have spiraled out of control, and things may begin to go south, and things will begin to resort to violence and all that. So he decided to give up. And now, what is the result? And now, after many years later, what happened. Now the present government, the same government that criticized Jonathan, they are now crying opposition, opposition. Well, why should they? They don't have the right to cry opposition because this is, I believe, this is a monster that they built and created. That after creating the monster and after serving its purpose, that is the Boko Haram and the insurgent and insecurity, after serving its purpose, they don't really have control. They lost the control of this monster called Boko Haram and bandits and whatever that they have unleashed on Nigerians. They could no longer contain it, they could no longer control it, and it's out of control right now. And as I speak right now, I believe that a lot of people, prominent people in the government, in the highest level of the government, are complicit in the sponsorship of this terrorism. So it has become a thing that cannot really be solved by Nigerians because the people that are expected to solve this issue are the same people that are allegedly involved or complicit in this issue. So how can you say you are going to solve a problem whereas the person that you're expecting to solve the problem is part of the problem there? So it is not possible. So my point is that the Obama administration contributed to this. He really, really, really got involved in Nigerian politics in 2014 and made it clear that he wanted a regime change, and that's what they got, and they did, and this has resulted. So I'm going to still play you some videos that is going to support my claim, and I'm going to play you also the video of Jonathan himself speaking about this issue and other videos as well that are going to support this. So without no further ado and without no further wait of time, we shall dive into it. But before we do so, if you like this video, please do not forget to subscribe to this video, like and share, and click the notification bell so that anytime I release a new video, it will be one of those. So we said it. So let's dive into it. So this is Bolaji Akinyemi, Nigeria's former foreign minister from 1985 to 1987. So he was part of the committee, Boko Haram committee, that was set up back then in 2014 to look into, kind of what the causes and the emergence of these terrorist activities. So he's going to narrate their findings, and then as he goes, I'm going to chip in, and we are going to learn a lot from him.
On the Boko Haram committee. Now, 2 plus 2 at times has to be equal to 4. So even if I can't give you 4, but I can give you 2 plus 2, we will then have to come to the conclusion that I'm giving you 4. I served on that committee, and villagers kept telling us that in the middle of the night, helicopters piloted by white people kept landing and offloading guns, goods, and all kinds of and money to these people. Now, villagers they don't even know who these white people are, and they have no reason to lie to us. Now, we made a mistake. When I said we, some of us on the Boko Haram committee made a mistake. We thought it was the French that were doing this. Now we have an American congressman said, no, it was the Americans who were doing this.
Okay, so as from what he was saying, I know that you follow up, but let me just clear the whole thing, just maybe if you don't understand. What he's trying to say is that when they were doing their investigation, they invited some villagers in to investigate, and they kind of, interviewed some villagers, and the villagers gave an account, said that all of them gave the same account, that there was this helicopter that used to fly into their village and drop ammunition and weapons and money and all kinds of goods onto them, to the Boko Haram people, to the terrorists in the village. So they said that it was white people it was a white person that usually fly this helicopter, which shows that white people are complicit. But being a white person can be from any nation. It can be any nationality. It can be from the United States. It can be a Britain, from the Europe or whatever. So, but they that are in the committee, they presumed that these people that fly this, that these white people that flew this, what do you call it, this helicopter, that they were from France. But that was a mistake. But because you know, recently now, during the just months ago, when Donald Trump became the president, they tried to sanitize um, how they try to curb the way they spend money in their aid to other countries. So U.S. aid was another very that U.S. aid was raised a red flag because they found out that U.S. aid that was giving money, kind of that they were using, US was using as a soft power over other countries to have gain control, that the money that they are allocating to USA to help other countries are not actually going for the purpose and not actually going for that particular purpose, that some of it or most of it have been diverted to sponsor Boko Haram with it, which also the Doge that was headed by Elon Musk found out that really that was the case, and they tried to, and Trump's administration now tried to, kind of, remove all this U.S. aid or whatever, remove it from being used as a way of sponsoring other or helping other countries, because their purpose, they are not serving their purpose, they are using it to launder money and to serve their own purpose, serve their own interest. And if you remember, when this thing was happening, when they were dropping with helicopter, dropping this money and the rest and the whatever, what have you, it was during um, Obama's time. It was during Obama's time, which I also think that Donald Trump did the right thing by trying to, abolish all this U.S. so-called U.S. aid and try to verify their 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 purpose or their work, what they do, what they actually do. Because even some Nigerians, independent people, have also looked into it and investigated and found out that most of the money that is being allocated to Nigeria for particular issues and particular problems are not being, the monies are not going there. All of the monies are not going there. Some are being diverted, and they can't actually say this is where the money is going from USAID. All we know that there is on paper that they are helping in the hospital, they are helping with HIV/AIDS drugs or whatever, or cancer or vaccination or the rest. But the monies that is being allocated originally from the Congress or from US or by USAID does not go directly for that purpose. So the money is being diverted and being used for this. That's what he's trying to say.
And when you then add that to the Obama administration refusing to sell weapons to us, to Nigeria, on the grounds that we had human rights violations in the way we were dealing with Boko Haram, not in the way we were dealing with ordinary Nigerians where there were no security issues.
So this is another issue to add salt to an injury. The Obama administration said then that they were trying to help Nigeria to stabilize. They are trying to support the right team or the right party that can handle this issue. Why did they stop selling weapons to then Jonathan's government then? They stopped selling weapons to them. Obama's administration stopped selling weapons. Then, if you are expecting Jonathan to fight terrorism, you expect him to fight it with his bare hands, just like he rightly said that their reason for not selling the this thing, the weapons to the government, Nigerian government then, was because there was a human right violation, whatever, by the way that Nigeria treat Boko Haram, not the way Nigeria government treats its own citizens, lawful, law-abiding citizens. That it is because of the way Nigeria government treats Boko. I want you to take that point. Treat Boko Haram, and for that reason, they are not supplying or selling weapons to Nigeria, and they made Jonathan's government a sitting duck. So he could not function. His government could not function with all the forces fighting him from internal external. He had to give up, and I thank God he did. And now a lot of people are seeing the effect. Look at it here. Nigerians now regret falling for anti-Jonathan narratives. Mahdi Shehu. This Mahdi Shehu is from the north. He said it. He said it. He's a political commentator and a very intelligent man. He said it. See, Shehu said those who, according to him, blackmailed Jonathan out of office became less popular than he ever was. He recalled that Jonathan was labeled a failure and clueless. Those who blackmailed him out of the villa are now more unpopular than he ever was. And that is Buhari and Tinubu. They called him a failure and clueless, but the same accusations are now their industry skill trademark. They said insecurity defined his tenure, while insecurity is now part of their anatomy. Anatomy of this government and physiology. They said he is a reckless spender, but now they are not only geometrical reckless spenders, but loan pricks. Look at the kind of money and loan Tinubu government is taking. Is mortgaging the future of this country. Is mortgaging our children to come. Probably this loan we may not be able to pay in many years to come, and they are leaving it for our children. And the most annoying part is that the loan they are collecting, it's not as though they are going to use it for something tangible, something very, what do you call it, that is going to be to the benefit of the common man. They are going to use it for their own selfish interest. And now, come January now, they are going to start even taxing us, taxing common Nigerians. More money, they are taxing us more money, and we are not seeing the money. There is no job, economy is bad, inflation is at its highest level, and we are not seeing anything that this government is doing, but instead they are taking more loan and taxing us. God save us.
The level of interference by the Obama's government was very overwhelming. It's not as if I couldn't have won the election even with that. But if by my own thinking and also the way some other people looked at it, they go outside the normal diplomatic relationship, then it should be mentioned. Sending that person to Nigeria at the eve of election, after Obama even issued a statement directing Nigerians to vote for the next chapter, that tells you something. And we should not sweep these things under the carpet. If a foreign country, or the African country, or even America or any other country interferes with our own elections, we should mention it. Immediately the Chibok issue came up, we expect Nigerians to be concerned. How do we get these girls out? Within a couple of days, we saw people going to the US would bring back our girls' placards. How? Why? And of course, the Mrs. Obama received one of those placards. I cannot take responsibility for the abduction. I don't control Boko Haram. They are criminals. But as a president, of course, you know, it's not the president that go to the field. You have security and intelligence officers that do the work. Let me admit that, yes, maybe they do their best, but their best was not good enough for us to recover the girls. That does not mean that I'm trying to remove myself from any blame. Yes, I may not be blamed for the action, but I could be blamed that my security and intelligence system are not strong enough to be able to rescue the girls.
So, what do you think? Do you think the United States had a part, or is to also partly be blamed for the insecurity in Nigeria? I think so, that Obama administration did what they did actually complicated and made the insecurity in Nigeria worse without them really, kind of trying to find out what was the problem, that they didn't play fair. They didn't play fair. They took a side. They took a side to support Buhari then. So, and I don't know if there is, like I said earlier on, if it was intentional or unintentional, or unknowingly, their participation in this. But one thing I do know is that the hand of the United States was involved in the problem of insecurity in Nigeria. So what do you think? If you have any comment or have anything to say concerning this issue, do not forget to put it in the comment section below. We'll discuss from there. And again, do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell, and also like and share it so that many other people will get to see this. All right. So thank you for watching, and bye bye, and remain blessed, and see you in my next one.